Hold on, I have to get my array of vitamins.
Ooh, what vitamins do you take?
I'm going to go get them from the cabinet. I'll be right back.
Okay. Allergies. My voice is so deep, I can't believe that I
Could you hear the banging?
breathe. What's that?
Could you hear all that banging? Not sexual banging, just banging around.
A little bit. I was talking to myself.
Oh.
My voice can go really deep right now because I've got some allergies going. So my voice can be very deep.
I breathed in some toxic spores yesterday, I think.
Toxic spores?
I mean, I don't fucking know, but there's this bush outside the apartment's front door that like, when it grows, it's some kind of weird grape thing. Like it'll grow little grapes, but it's not a traditional grape bush.
Okay.
When it starts to get warm, like it'll overtake the whole entranceway.
Ooh, will you send me a picture of it?
I had to cut it back yesterday, but then there were these white spots all over the leaves.
The white spots on the leaves could be wild yeast, or it could be like a blight, a problem on the leaves. Send me a picture of this plant. I want to know what kind of plant it is.
It's a giant plant. It's overtaken the whole fence.
Yeah, I want to see. I wonder if you could eat it.
I don't want to eat it.
Well, you might be able to eat the fruit.
I'll go to the window and take a picture.
Okay.
Don't start singing. You have to listen to me.
Okay. Don't start singing. How dare you know me?
That was entertaining, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good. Good thing I didn't sing.
From this angle, it looks like a giant weed.
Yeah.
You can't even tell what it is. I have no clue what it is.
I might know. Or I might not, but
from this
look it up.
Angle, it's disgusting.
Disgusting. Hello, it's me.
All right, the picture's been sent. You can't even tell what that is. I guess those are kind of grapey leaves.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who would have planted this. Now, there is a fence there, so it grows along this fence.
Little gray. Oh, so I was looking at the leaf pattern. So there's a couple different plants in here, right?
Analyzing leaf pattern.
Yeah, there's a couple leaves. So this is like more than one plant that I'm seeing in this big bunch here.
I'm talking mainly about the ones in the forefront, which I do see different leaves in that too. So there's the one to the right. Forget that thing. That's a different tree.
I know, but I'm saying there's ones that the leaves look like tapered and pretty, and then the other ones that are like scalloped edges.
Uh-huh.
So which ones are which? Which plant?
I don't know. I guess they're all kind of mixed together then. Maybe there are several things.
Yeah, there's a couple things here.
Whatever this thing is, it's unwieldy.
Oh, does it have little blue, little grape-like things?
Yeah, I guess so.
And they're covered in like a dust. They're like
sounds right.
Yeah. But that dust, like whenever you see plant that produces a fruit that has like a matte looking fruit, and then you can like rub it on your finger and it takes away that matte and makes it shiny, that's wild yeast, and you can harvest that and make your own bread with it.
My own sourdough starter straight from the blueberries of the bush outside my front door.
Yeah, and you could say it's like New York wild yeast. Maybe it'd be like really fancy.
Yes, mixed in with all the other pollutants in the atmosphere.
Yeah, maybe.
It's very special.
That's what makes it so good.
All right, let me take my regimen of
What are you
vitamins.
taking? I want to know it all.
Here's a vitamin D.
Okay, good.
Because I took I took that blood test recently. My vitamin D was off the chart, like so low.
It was off the chart in the wrong way.
Yes, it's still off the chart because there's a chart.
I know, it's just a weird way to say it.
As this show continues on and we get older, it's just going to be us reporting back for our blood test results.
I have a mammogram scheduled this week.
It's very important. I saw an ER the other day how to do a mammogram. It was a weird thing. Like you could tell that they were trying to inform the audience.
Uh-huh.
women on how to do a proper mammogram, but it was presented as this hot doctor teaching a woman to do it, and she was getting really turned on by it.
Okay.
This
is on the show ER.
Yeah, ER.
Wow, you're watching ER?
Yeah, just when it's on TV, I don't go out of my way, but on the YouTube TV when I wake up, sometimes ER is playing, and I think it's I'm surprised. I didn't know what I thought of ER. I guess I just mixed it in with Grey's Anatomy in my mind.
Oh, I was like, I watched ER with my family as a kid.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Okay, finally we get to this. Finally, we can continue on.
Oh, I'm sorry, your vitamin?
Entertaining episode. Yes. Well, I was while we were vamping there, mm-hmm. I found it.
Okay.
Vitamin D was 16.2, where the chart low end is 30, high end is 100. So,
dang.
Vitamin D going down. Folic acid.
You're taking folic acid?
Yeah, I'm a woman. I'm going to have a baby.
Oh, that's soon. Good. They won't have spina bifida.
No, I read that folic acid can be good for your liver, possibly. They don't know. Some studies show, some don't.
Okay.
Just like any other vitamin and mineral.
Yeah, because it's like not FDA regulated.
Yeah, but for the liver. And then I'm taking a B vitamin, which probably also has folic acid in it. So I'm doubling up on the folic acid.
No, it would say it would be a B complex, right?
Well, I think it's a complex. It's got all the Bs.
Oh, BB.
And it makes your pee neon yellow. Then I'm taking a L-tyrosine, which is an amino acid. Supposedly helps mood, but I don't know. I'm still grumpy as fuck. And the last thing, which I probably shouldn't take because it hurts my stomach and makes me want to barf sometimes, is the zinc.
Oh, you got to take it at night.
I know, but I need it now.
You got to take them at bedtime so that you don't get sick from any of your meds.
I'm buying the zinc in half. I'll take half now.
Have you eaten anything?
Some gummy bears.
Oh, that's not great.
Oh, and there you have it. The vitamin regimen. Sometimes I take a DHEA, but that's not an everyday thing.
Oh.
It's a precursor to testosterone.
Wow. So manly. I used to take magnesium, but it was making me have the worst stomach problems. I take my black cohosh.
Well, some people take magnesium. Sweats. They take magnesium for bowel movement.
To help it?
Yeah.
Well, it was making me like have diarrhea and like really upset
that's
stomach.
Normal. I think that's a normal thing.
I hated it. I had to stop taking it. I felt so much better. I also stopped taking a probiotic because I was having such stomach problems.
Riveting.
Well, fuck you. Your shit was just as riveting.
I know. That's why I threw it out there.
Okay.
It was a comment on the whole conversation.
Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
And my name is Greg Russ.
I'm feeling healthy, though. Like, I'm feeling good. You know, the only other thing that I'm feeling that I started to have like a little neuroses about just the other night was I've been having trouble coming up with words. Like, I'll tell the kids to pick up that cup, but instead I'll say the bowl, spoon, cup. Like, I'll finally get to it. You know, like when your dad or something is listing through all your siblings when he's just trying to talk to you. It's like that kind of thing. Like, I can't come up with the right word.
It's a normal thing. It's part of this process.
What process?
Of growing older.
Oh, really?
It's a normal thing. It's happening a lot to me.
Okay, good.
Yesterday I was trying to think of the word recession. I could not. Regression. I was like, no, that's not what I'm
Retention.
I couldn't figure it out. And the thing was, I was typing something, and as I was typing the thing, you're thinking ahead of what you're writing, and recession was in my brain. And when I got to that part to write it out, it was gone. And I could not find it. It was just missing, and that's what happens.
Okay.
It's already May 10th, which blows my mind.
Why you want it to be?
No, where did this year go? I was thinking, is this going to be the rest of my life?
Where'd all the time go?
Yeah, the rest of my life is going to be it's already this month. Where the fuck is the time going? But it does feel that way. It feels like it was just Christmas. It feels like it was just last May. That trip to Ireland that I took in April. It doesn't seem that long ago. That doesn't seem a year and a month ago.
Oh, see, to me, that seems like that was a long time ago. From my perspective.
No, not long at all. I guess we all perceive time differently.
Yeah.
Maybe to you, it seemed like it's been 20 years. And you think, what the fuck? This year's so slow.
Well, Ellie's turning 10 on the 18th.
Doesn't that freak you out in some way?
Not freak me out, but like, woo! All right, 10. That means I've had a daughter for 10 years.
Yeah.
How am I 10 years older?
Means you've gotten 10 years older. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There it is. Good luck. Good luck with the rest of your life.
But I don't know. Like, I'm feeling so good these days, since I got this boyfriend and things are going so well. Like, it doesn't feel as like, oh, this is coming to an end in any way. Like, it feels like, oh, everything's new,
Which makes it all the more sad that it's going to end one day.
I guess. Yeah. I guess if you want to if you want to go that direction, then yeah. But
all the more depressing.
You know what I really want to do? I really, really want a golf cart.
Are they even legal there?
Sure. Why not?
No, that's not the way it works. It's not just sure.
I think so.
There are real regulations surrounding these things.
Golf carts.
Yes. You can't
Listen,
just
that's the least of my
drive
problems because I can't afford it, but I want one so bad.
What do they cost?
Like around 3,000 to 5,000, which is crazy because you can get like a little Vespa for like $800.
Yeah, where would you store it and where would you charge it?
I park it in the parking lot.
How are you going to charge it?
I don't know. I have a cord.
This is just a thing.
I know. I just want one so bad.
At least you can't afford it. Else you'd act on impulse and then you'd be pulled over and they say, you can't drive this thing.
Well, I'm Googling it now.
This isn't Peachtree City where you live, the only reason Peachtree City is known as a community where you can drive around golf carts is because they've made it a law that it's okay. I find that to be a very, I don't know why Peachtree City passed that.
Because it's a planned community.
What does that mean? It doesn't look like a plant. It looks like any other suburb. It doesn't have like a central hub and a cute little downtown and a walking
because
grid.
They planned it so that you could get around via golf cart. And so there's all these trails and things that are like golf cart
so there's paths
Yeah.
for the golf carts.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
I don't know how to even Google this. Golf carts on Crofton. Like, how do I?
In this Atlanta suburb, teens taste freedom at 10 miles per hour. This was just published in 2023. The New York Times. Oh, you're great. I'm glad that you're reporting on this thing that's been known forever. Fucking New York Times, November 25th, 2023. Peachtree City, Georgia. Golf carts are everywhere.
What? Yeah, duh.
Giving young people in particular an early chance to take life by the wheel. They're lowering the speed limit in New York to 20 miles per hour.
I know. You've told me you're really upset.
I'm not really upset. It's just a money grab.
Bothering you.
Well, it's because the way they present it.
Right.
Someone's kid was killed. That's a sad thing. And then, the parent went on a crusade. We need to lower the speed limits. They're already 25 miles per hour.
Wow.
And the person who killed the kid, again, I'm not trying to take it's a tragedy and a tragedy, and I wouldn't know how to deal with it myself. But I'm guessing the person who killed the kid was already speeding. So lowering the speed limit to 20 miles per hour isn't going to keep the people who are going to speed anyway from speeding. They're still going to speed, and that danger will still exist. Lowering it, all it does is it gives the cameras an opportunity to rack up more cash when you're speeding.
Yeah.
They put cameras in every school zone, and there's schools all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
In this city. And before, this is the way it always progresses. Before it was during school hours, those cameras were active. Fine, fair. Kids are in school. You're speeding through the school zone. We're going to catch you. You're going to get a $50 fine. It's no points on your license because we can't prove who was driving your car. We don't know if it was you or a friend or whatever. But there's $50. And, that in itself is saying, you're not going to fight it because there's no points on your license. Give us our $50. Then at some point, they expand it to 10 p.m. Well, now the cameras in the school zones are active until 10 p.m. Why? When was school out? By 7 p.m., I have to assume everyone's out of the school.
Mm-hmm.
School's out by 3. Then it became 24 hours. Well, we're doing it 24 hours now. We got to make sure that people aren't. Oh, yes, because at 2 a.m., all those children milling about the fucking school, got to watch out for them. So lowering it to me, and it's a cynical take because the person who pushed it lost a child. But I have to think that all the people in the community board or the city government who got behind it are thinking, more money.
Yeah. I think Eric made the point recently that like nothing that's done under the guise of doing it for the people is actually for benefiting anyone. It's not benefiting any person.
No, it's the same thing with congestion pricing, which they're about to implement here. So if you drive into Manhattan below 60th Street, it's going to cost you $15.
Why?
They're trying congestion pricing.
What does that mean?
London's done it. Other cities have done it. You drive into the central business district, you're paying a toll. The idea is you cut back on traffic. That's not, come on.
Uh-huh.
It's not what you want to do because congestion pricing here is also tied by law to the MTA, who runs the subway system. By law, every year they have to give $1 billion to the MTA. So you clearly don't want to cut down on traffic because if you do, you're not going to get the money.
Right.
So you need to keep, that was the whole thing. We got to find a toll that strikes the right balance because we'll cut back on traffic, but we really do need to make that money too. And people coming in from New Jersey who already pay for a tunnel that's costing them $14,
wow,
then get hit with another. Look, there's no reason to drive into Lower Manhattan. I have a car. If I'm going into the city, I don't fucking take the car. It's stupid. There's no point. And I'm not, in theory, at its most basic, opposed to congestion pricing because I don't think there should be so many cars in a very dense city. And if it can open up room for people to walk,
maybe
more
like
sidewalk space,
encourage people to do that.
Yeah, great.
Right. Okay, I guess.
But that's not what it is. And the MTA, which is notorious for mismanaging money, last year, another report came out. So it's been several years in a row. They're spending over $1 billion in overtime. They're paying out over $1 billion. You want $1 billion a year? Why don't you fucking get that shit in check? Because it's very well publicized that people abuse it. They found people who've made $300,000 in additional money because they're abusing the overtime system.
Wow.
And when they get caught, they get legal trouble. But how many other people are doing it not getting caught? And the guy who runs the MTA has this fucking chip on his shoulder and at all these meetings. It's like, it's happening. And if you don't like that it's happening, well, you can just shove it. It's like, why don't you fucking
do you mean
have
the congestion? I'm sorry, the price.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because there's people fighting it. It's like, why don't you have a bit of humility, you fucking cocky son of a bitch? I'd fucking love to smack that guy across the jaw. We had a very good guy who ran the MTA. Andy Byford was his name, and he came from London, and London has great public transit. And this was the time when Cuomo was around. And the MTA is this weird thing where the MTA serves New York City, but it's run by the state government when it's convenient. But when things are going wrong, it's like, well, that's the city's problem. That's not our problem. But Cuomo didn't like Andy because people really liked Andy. Like people, you don't normally know who runs your mass transit system.
Yeah.
But this was a guy who was pretty humble. You knew he was good at his job, and he was just likable. And so word spread, and people knew who he was. And whenever he'd speak, people got excited about it. And he had a good vision for the future. And Cuomo couldn't fucking deal with it. And so he enacted the MTA is a state agency, and that means I oversee it. And he drove the fucking guy out. He quit. Like he couldn't take it because he couldn't take Cuomo anymore. It's all absolute garbage. And now we have this one guy. It's like, I know that you're excited to get that $1 billion a year that you're going to fucking waste. Like, I'm a person who likes mass transit. I
Yeah.
want the system to be better.
Right.
They haven't expanded this system in fucking decades, while other cities, I take that back. They expanded it by 3 stations that cost billions of dollars. They added 3 new stations.
Was it helpful?
And 3 new, and a few additional miles of track.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's helpful for the people who live in that part of Manhattan, but this plan has been in place to add a whole new line for decades. That's going to run along the east side of Manhattan because there's not really a north-south line on the farthest east side of the
Okay.
island.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you finally got around to getting 3 stations in. Good for you.
Good
this
for
guy,
you.
I cannot stand him. But
it's not really his fault. It's really Cuomo's fault.
Well, I mean, there's many things. Cuomo's the one who put congestion pricing in
But I mean, the fact that you hate this guy is kind of Cuomo's fault.
No, I hate this guy because he's fucking full of himself.
Oh, right. Okay.
The guy I liked is gone. He would have been good for the MTA. The fact he's gone is Cuomo's fault. Cuomo's the one who put congestion pricing in motion. Again, in theory, I'm not really opposed to it, but when people lie to your fucking face about what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And do it like to pretend that it's going to be something good. It's just like that TikTok ban, that they're trying to say, oh, it's for you. It's to make TikTok safer. Shut the fuck up. No, it's not.
Nah, they need their money. We want our money.
Everybody wants their money. And so that's another thing is that everything is so expensive. And then like they talk to you like it's too bad, right? You're talking about like the this MTA thing. They're going to charge you more money. They're not going to give you any humanity to say, we know that things are hard. How about we just make it easier for you to get to work?
Well, you wanted to be easier to get to work? Well, you need a better transit system. No, you should have fucking run the transit system in a way where you keep it efficient.
That's the thing, because even if you want to fund something, like I think about all those people that say, well, all the billionaires or all the richest people in the world or whatever could end homelessness. And it's okay, I guess they could, but who would they give their money to? And how would that be managed? I don't trust anybody to be able to handle that, So it's the same thing. It's I would love to fund a public transit system, but I don't trust you to handle that money properly.
Nor should you. Nobody who gets in a position where they can take money doesn't take the money. Black Lives Matter.
Right.
The people who were the heads of Black Lives Matter bought those mansions in California off the donations, the money they raised for the cause. Now, I don't take people run with that to dismiss the whole movement and the whole idea behind it. And
that's not the point.
That's not what I'm going. I'm just saying that there are people in positions of power, and you can find them anywhere. This is just the one that's top of mind because it shouldn't be surprising. But, when I first heard, I was like, oh, really? Everyone will just take it and run with it. And then I think it was tried to pass off. It's like, well, no, these are like meeting clubhouses for everyone to come. And it's just, you're making it worse. You fucking then act like people are idiots and you speak in a way like we're all morons. Fuck off. It is insulting. It's like, just be honest about what you are doing. That's why the MTA guy pisses me. Just be honest. Like, look, we are fucking a mess, and there's a lot of cleaning up that we need to do.
Just be honest.
This whole authority is a piece of shit, and it's really my fault because I'm the head of it. Even if it was like this when I came in, I haven't really done much to clean it up. But he's not going to do that. Instead, he crosses his arms and laughs at the people who have to start paying more money. And in general, the costs of goods are going to go up because trucks are going to have to pay a higher toll to now make deliveries into Manhattan. And that gets passed on to everyone and only furthers the wealth gap in this fucking city. And what happens when the people who shine your fucking shoes can't afford to live here anymore? The people who serve you your fucking caviar can't afford to live here anymore. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't matter to me that everything is more expensive because I'm rich and I'm in New York and it's my status symbol. Yeah, then you have no one to take out your goddamn trash and it piles up and the rats hopefully come in and chew your fucking face off.
Okay.
I don't get it. It's frustrating. I see, people always move to Florida from New York
Mm-hmm.
and talk about the taxes and the tolls. And I guess moving here, you take that into account. And you're like, okay, well, that's what exists. But now I see what happens. They just add more and more and more. So the people who got fed up with it were fine with it at one point until they kept adding more and more. And when I moved here, those more and more tolls and taxes were just part of it. So it's like, okay, well, that's the way it is here.
Right.
But as they continue to add more and find more ways to squeeze fucking money out of you, you do start to think, what the fuck? When does this stop? And when is enough enough? Because clearly the money that you got before, that's like, oh, we just need this little bit more so we can do this, that we can enact this policy or build this thing. It's like, yeah, but that didn't work.
Well, and it would be
because-
nice if pay would keep up with something like that. I think that's what's changed, right? Is it used to be that your pay and what money was worth, right, would sort of rise together or fall together or whatever. But now it's like, no, all the companies are still seemingly on this COVID sort of mentality where it's like, oh, we just can't, no
It's always
reason.
that. It was 2008. Oh, we can't. We don't have enough. A lot of money. It's
Right.
that economy. Everything collapsed. And
Yeah. And then
before that, it was 9/11.
And then 2019, 2020, no, we just can't. And then we're all through it. And the companies are still, just right now we just, okay, fuck off.
The 90s seemed to be the one period where things like the economy was booming. Everyone was feeling good about things because 80s had a bunch of inflation too. But yeah, it's always some excuse.
Mhm.
It's always a reason. We're just not quite where we need to be. But salaries haven't kept pace since the 70s. Like if you look at
really?
the growth of salaries compared to the growth of cost of living, it's a big discrepancy. And it's just the way it is. And people are still spending. That's the biggest thing. That people, despite the higher prices, are still spending a lot of fucking money, which is why inflation's not going down. And that's removing items like food, like things you have to buy to survive. Like it's like, fuck, I hate that eggs cost me $6, but I want eggs.
Yeah. And I mean,
I need food to survive.
I'm
I
being
shouldn't
silly
say
and
want.
looking at golf carts. I'm not going to buy a golf cart, but if I had 5K just hanging out, maybe I would do that.
Is that the best use of your 5K?
No, it's not.
Buying a golf cart.
It just feels like for fun. It feels like there's so, you know what? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe all of us are so disillusioned and depressed about what our future looks like. It feels, I want these little hits of dopamine. So I'm going to keep buying. I'm going to spend. I'm going to spend. So I can have fun because the future doesn't seem so bright. And even the present doesn't seem so bright. I can't trust the government. There's no one to vote for. I hate everything and everyone except in my, sort of close knit circle. And so fuck it. I want it. I'm going to get it.
A golf cart ain't going to fix things.
It's not. It won't.
This idea.
But it'll be fun.
Zooming around.
Yeah, I looked it up. According to Maryland Department of Motor Vehicles, golf carts cannot legally operate on public roadways, the exception being the cart crossing a street to continue its journey to another portion of a golf course or other private property.
So there you go. Good thing you actually looked into the regulations surrounding it before buying one.
Dang it. Maybe I could get it registered.
No.
Come on.
I if it has a certain amount of horsepower.
Oh, low speed vehicle, LSV. A golf cart could move at a maximum of 20 miles per hour. An LSV can do that slightly better at 25 to 30. Well, anyway, I think I'd have to have it like registered or something. If your LSV exceeds the 20 miles an hour speed, the law requires it to be fitted with headlamps, turn signal lamps, stop lamps, reflectors, tail lamps, rearview mirrors, parking brakes, seat belts. Maybe I could just like come up with a deal with the two cops that work at the, in Crofton.
Yeah, then when you're
That I
T-boned
know.
I buy a F-150. It's going to go over well. I assume
What?
every car on the road there is an SUV of some sort. So when you're in an
An
accident,
F-150 is a truck.
yeah, I know. I said F-150 and then I said some sort of SUV or truck.
Okay.
And then when it hits you in your little golf cart and it
Oh.
crumples and your body is pulverized.
I'm in a neighborhood.
Those two cops will say, she didn't tell us.
Well, it wouldn't be there. They wouldn't be in trouble.
You just said you would cut a deal with them.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be in trouble.
I think they'd be in trouble.
No, they wouldn't. A cop wouldn't be in trouble for a driver doing something wrong.
If you were struck by an F-150 in your golf cart driving illegally on the roads, and word got out that the cops, you cut a deal with the cops and they said, "No, we'll leave you alone."
Well, yeah, yes. If it got out, then I guess, but why? How would it get out?
There'd be questions.
The cops let me. Well, I wouldn't. No.
There'd be questions.
All right. Well, it's not happening.
You'd have documentation
My dreams
somehow
of buying a golf cart and driving it to the pool are dashed.
Yeah, so you either get a bicycle or get a Vespa. You get a motorcycle with a sidecar.
I would love a little Vespa.
This is your midlife crisis.
No, I'm just bored. I'm not bored. Cars. It just seems like a fun little toy. Just a toy, that's all.
There's no one a crisis. I guess midlife crisis, it is tied to the fact that you're like, oh, death is getting closer and half my life is over. And you look at things, you take inventory and you say, what the fuck have I done? I'm just sitting here with these kids running around screaming, and this is not what I envisioned. This is not what I wanted my suburban home.
See, that's not what's happening with me. It just feels like a fun little toy.
Oh, shut up. Did you hear that?
I did. Look, look. Do you have a meeting at 11:15?
At 11:30 I have a meeting.
Oh, okay.
But the other part of midlife crisis, I feel like you finally have some disposable income and you maybe are bored because life has settled in. You're like, I don't know what's going on. People become more and more bored as time goes on anyway, because there are less things we have to worry about. Life has become much easier to live. You don't even need to go to the grocery store. Errands don't even really need to be run anymore because you can just pay to have them done or have things delivered to you. So even that's kind of been cut out. People working from home. I've always approached a job as, I don't care about how many hours you work. You have a job to do. And if you do that job and you do it well and it's on time, fine. Like I don't, who's counting hours? Some people count hours, but I think that's become more mainstream. So people are doing their jobs, and there's plenty of people probably not even doing their jobs well. But in general, it's like, well, I'm doing, I'm working, but I also am at home and I do other things, I guess, but I don't really know what I want to do. It's just boredom across the board.
I think it's less boredom and more disillusionment with the way that we thought things were going to be and the world we thought we would live in and how disappointing everything has become. I'm just speaking for myself, but I wonder if it's across many people.
I'm sure there's plenty of people feeling that way.
Yeah. So it's like,
keep
that
buying, factors into
have fun.
It's a weird concoction of things right now, of motivating factors. But as bad as we talk about the economy and inflation, people clearly have money. They have money to spend. As minimum wages rise, people have more disposable income. And that's not good for inflation. It's just, there's more people with more money to spend, so the demand is higher. So maybe by default, prices are just going to be higher. They're trying to get it under control. People rooting for, job reports that say people losing their jobs and salaries not rising.
Well, all right.
So people have, that's the weird thing. People have money. I know you get focused on houses. People don't have enough money to buy a house, yes, but they have enough money to spend on inflated prices. So because I guess people can't make those big purchases and don't
Yeah.
feel a need to save, like, oh, whatever. What am I saving for? I may as well just blow it on a golf cart.
But why not? I mean, why not? Go for it. If you got the money, you can do it. Do it. You're not going to get a house.
I'm buying
Yeah, you're buying watches and
$125 pair of pants now
yeah.
from Mott and Bow. It's like, what the fuck? They're fine. These pants are fine. They market themselves as the world's most comfortable pants. It's like, they're not that, but they fit well. I like the way they fit. So sure.
Okay.
Why are they so much more expensive? I guess that, and with clothing specifically, there is a difference in quality when you spend more. Hopefully there should be. I think when you get into designer brands, who fucking knows, because you're paying for the brand name.
Yeah, I'm sure it could be a little bit more hit or miss, but typically I think you are getting a better product.
No, you can just tell by stitching and the materials used, and sometimes it's like double layers of material, whereas if you paid for something that was cheaper, it'd be single. That is a real thing that I've noticed. Buying nicer clothes, same with furniture. You do get what you pay for. If you're not, then you're falling for some kind of trap, some vanity bullshit. It's like, well, I got that thing that's popular, that Louis Vuitton, my Coach clothing.
Coach.
To my Hilfiger.
I don't think that they have. When you were saying Coach, I was thinking of accessories.
Yeah, do they make clothing? Do they make shirts? I feel like I've seen shirts with the big Coach logo on it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they might make belts.
That was the thing I bought. Eric was talking about his new belt on the air the other day.
Right.
And he said he got off of Amazon. I was like, what the fuck? This isn't a good belt. Does any good clothing come off of Amazon? The few times I've bought something, it doesn't look like what I bought when you get it.
I've gotten some pants, I think, like jeans and shoes.
But was it like a name brand, or was it just, how did that work?
It's
Are they fine?
Yeah.
So Eric's talking about this belt, and I bought that Hanks belt. I don't know at this point. Was it a year ago already I bought that belt?
I think it was less, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's less. But, it was like a $70 belt, which is, they've got some that are more expensive. But I think that belt that I wore for 15 years was like a $15, $20 belt.
Yeah. Like you didn't need to spend this much on a belt.
Yeah, so Eric talking about this belt, oh, it's so great. And then I said, I wrote him off the air, and I said, no, you should look at these belts.
Uh-huh.
And then he got defensive, and he said, no, my belt's better than any of these. But I had said, find one you like, I'll buy it for you for your birthday.
Oh.
And so he got all defensive and weird about the belt that he bought and how it's better, and he didn't want another one. And then he realized I said I'd buy it. And he said, oh, okay. And then he picked one out.
Really?
Yes. And so it should be arriving today, actually. I got a notification.
What a weirdo. He's so like neurotic. Anytime he hears anything that just sounds a little bit like criticism, he's like, oh, you're better than me.
Well, he's the first one to admit, I don't think about clothing or any of that stuff. I just let my wife pick things out.
Yeah.
So why get all weird about your belt?
Because he feels like you're saying you're better than him.
Well, in the belt department, I probably am. I know what he got. One of the things I convinced him on, I said, what color belt did you get? He got a black belt. I said, well, you need a brown belt.
Yeah,
too.
you need a brown belt.
So that's what he ended up getting. But I know the black one. It's probably got the fake sheen on it that's going to peel off over time. And the thing's going to crack. And eventually, around the eyelets, it's going to start ripping. It's not a good quality belt. I don't even know what he got, but I guarantee it's not a good quality belt.
I'm sure you're right.
So now he's got a nice one coming. I mean, he picked one I didn't like that much.
Really?
Well, it's a fine belt. It's I got the everyday belt. It's the one I tried to push on him. He chose something else, but I think
it's also strange that you're so invested in this belt thing.
why not?
Yeah,
Who's
why
talking
not?
about it?
No, you're right.
It's-
I mean, listen, why not? I want a golf cart. Why not?
That's a different thing.
Nah.
This belt that I've got now, it's quality. That's why I've tested it out. You had to break it in. How about that? I used to squeak so much. It's moving around, which is kind of weird. But that means it's good quality leather.
The
Some
squeaking.
animal gave its life for my
If it
strip
squeaks, you keeps.
some animal's life was given so I could get a strip of its skin to wear around my waist.
So you could buy it for more than maybe you should.
No, I think it's priced properly.
Okay.
There is such thing as the reason things are priced cheaply is because they are cheap.
Right.
There's a balance to be struck, and there are plenty of things that are overpriced. Like even these watches, automatic watches, you can argue it's like, are they even worth $1,000? They are fully mechanical. Now, a lot of these companies are using pre-made movements, which another company will make. And I know the markup on watches in general is pretty high. But to me, like $1,000 for a watch, I know it's marked up. It's like, all right, that feels okay. Like Rolex. Now, Rolex does make their own movements, and
Right.
more shit goes into
But
it.
you can. How much are Rolexes? Like $32,000 or more?
I mean, there's certainly a range, but yes, they are very expensive. And to me, it's not really worth it. It's a status thing at that point.
Sure. But at that point, you should just get a fake one.
Some people do.
Yeah, because you can't tell.
No, but see,
unless you look up close and then you inspect it and then you know. But if you're
that's
just wearing
just
it for
dumb.
status, then get a fake one.
But then it defeats the purpose of the status because you're faking status at that point. I think it's all dumb. I think the fake ones are dumb. I think the real ones. I'm not to say there aren't some that I like the design of, but I just can't justify paying that much. Some people can. In general, though, I do think that there's a balance to all of this. It's like, well, you get better quality and it does cost more, but there's a reason it costs more. Instead of that costs a lot of money because the name attached.
What is our topic?
I have no fucking clue.
Things that you think about when you get older.
Nah, it's not even that, is it? We've been on this kick for a while.
Yeah. What's going on?
It's real life.
Yeah.
That's the topic. Real life.
I'm looking at Vespas
Keeping it real.
on Facebook Marketplace. Ooh.
Facebook Marketplace Vespas.
Yeah. Why not?
I just got to test them out. You got to get someone who knows how to ride it so they can make sure it's functioning properly. I don't think buying that used is a bad idea, especially if you don't want to spend that much, but just gotta make sure someone doesn't try to rip you off.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know what this means. I don't know what anything means. Driven 1,700 miles. Okay, is that good? Is that low? I don't know.
Yeah, that's low. That's nothing.
Okay. Cool. I'll take it.
And if it's a deal that's too good to be true, keep
for
that
sure.
in mind.
Yeah.
If somebody says, this Vespa's only $15, then you show up and then they rob
It's funny
you.
you said 1,500 because this is 1,500, the one I was looking at.
Well, I bought that light off of Facebook Marketplace the first
Yeah.
time I used it that I hung in the kitchen last weekend.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it is a very nice light.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really worried going up to buy it, but I was thinking of the stories of people who are killed.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But it's always buy my $80,000 truck for $30,000.
And
Cash only.
that's not usually through Facebook. You know what I mean? Like murders or whatever. That's because there's a whole if you scratch the surface just a little bit and look at their profile and try to see if it's real or not, then you get a sense whether this is real, you know?
Well, that's what I'm dealing with when I reach out to people about that lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a fake profile on Facebook. It's actually got pictures of me
Yeah.
on it, but it's got no friends.
Oh, right.
So I was thinking people are going to...
When they see it. Yeah.
Yeah, who are you? I'm not talking to you.
So they're the ones that should be nervous, not you.
Yeah, who's this guy coming up to my
Right.
house on Saturday morning?
Oh, this one's $850, driven 300 miles. It's a little guy.
Let's be careful on one of those.
I think it's really little. It looks teensy.
What's going to happen is you're going to drive it around the neighborhood. You're going to get comfortable. Then you're going to want to take it out on the major roads.
No, I won't do that.
You will.
Why would I? Why?
I'll just go to the grocery store.
Right
I'll
down
just
the
go
road.
to the Target.
No, that's way too far. Just drive.
I mean, you can't carry a lot, but when I had that motorcycle, you go to the Publix, you put on a backpack and you buy a few items.
Yeah.
And you zoom home.
I'm not going to buy any of these things. I have to. I'm paying for a vacation. I think in August, and I have to pay that off still.
What's the vacation?
Family reunion. Except it's real. We're really just trying to start a family reunion. We kept saying that every time we're all together, it's because a family member has died, and that was a real bummer. So we thought we keep saying, let's do something. So one of my aunts and uncles sort of made it happen. So a handful of us will be there. And Joe's coming with me.
Where is it happening?
I think it's in like South Carolina or North Carolina, South Carolina.
I don't know if that sounds like a vacation to me, going to hang with like extended family.
Oh, well, it's a beach thing. And we all get separate little places, like little houses to rent.
I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So yeah, I got to pay that off first before I consider a Vespa or a golf cart.
And then
maybe I should save up like a better rainy day fund. Maybe I should do that.
You're supposed to have 6 months that you can survive off of in case the worst happened.
Right.
Do you have that?
No.
Unbelievable.
Maybe I should do that first.
You should be getting...
What's that?
You should be getting more money and endorsements and whatever.
Yeah. There was an endorsement that I got, and then I kept reaching back out to the salesperson asking what's going on. And then I left it alone for so long, and then I wrote them just the other day. I was like, so should I forget about this endorsement? He said, oh, they've pushed it off until next quarter. I was like, thanks for fucking telling me. Dick.
The life of... I was going to say DJ, but it's not a
DJ.
Of a radio personality on a popular, successful, major market show. Not glamorous at all.
Well, whatever. All right, I can't talk about this anymore. We've got to come up with a better, more fun topic next week so that we can so I don't feel so defeated at the end of every show.
Oh, you want the show to be a distraction. You want it to
for a
fool
while.
you.
Yeah, at least a handful, just a sprinkling of, not this always
the same
talking about how
old
everything's
rants.
terrible.
I mean, look, it's the first time you're being realistic. I want to keep the ball rolling.
Well,
you've lived in a fantasy world for a long, long time.
That's true.
Opening your third eye.
Oh, like I'm woke, but in a different way.
Yeah, taking things in for as they are.
Yeah.
But they really are. This is a good thing. Things you never thought about.
Well, because I couldn't accept my own unpleasant thoughts or feelings.
Well, we should have kept the conversation going on about supplements and vitamins.
That was better.
Which could have been the whole episode. But you're right. I think about changing the name of the show, but keeping like our archives. I guess you could do that, right?
Sure. What do you want to change it to?
I mean, I don't know. When people are looking for it, though, and if people subscribe, does that screw with that?
Yeah, I wouldn't want. I don't think we should change. Don't be like Eric and just change the name of your show a billion times.
We could update the logo and just cross out one topic in red.
Just topic.
Yeah, I mean it's gotten so
topics.
It's gotten so.
We'll take out the one. We'll take a red and we'll do that little like loop over the one to delete it, and then we'll put a little caret in to say S for topics.
Yeah,
Insert
from
an
where
S.
we started, it's gotten kind of far off
Yeah.
the path.
Well,
Which is fine.
yeah, things are changing, I guess.
You do 5 years of fucking shows. I don't know. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
It's been that long.
It's been a long
It's been
time.
over 5.
Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to.
But okay.
Yeah, I gotta
No
go.
more.
My mom called in the middle of this. I have to call her back.
Okay, give her a call.
Okay.
Tell her the bad news about the golf cart. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, no golf cart.
Can't get matching golf carts.
Thanks everybody for listening. I hope you have a good weekend and a good week. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.